Welcome back to my channel Radiant Living. I am Dr. Pramod Joshi, MD Medicine, practicing since last 44 years. Today in this video, I am going to talk to you about fatty liver, what you should know. This condition is rapidly growing all across India and in our society. If it is left untreated for 7 to 9 years, it can progress and cause extensive liver scarring and fibrosis, which is called as liver cirrhosis. Then we are only left with supportive therapy or liver transplant. Fatty liver is completely reversible in its first two stages and earlier part of stage 3. To know about it in detail, watch this video till end and subscribe to my channel Radiant Living. 1 in 3 persons in India has fatty liver, that is almost one-third population. 30 to 40% of the men have it and about 20 to 30% of the women have it. Fatty liver is also common in teenagers and children as they are more glued to watching TV screens, tabloid screens and mobiles and not doing exercises, not going out for play and taking unhealthy fast foods and munching more bakery products and wrong diet. The incidence is alarming even in children. Our liver contains very little fat. When we consume excess fat, it accumulates inside the liver cell and affects its functioning. When total liver fat becomes more than 5% to 10% weight of the liver, the fatty liver starts developing. Nowadays, this is called as MASLD. You can see the full form. Here, I would like to quote one case which I came across. About a 53-year-old lady was brought to hospital for large blood vomiting. After sonography, we found she had scarred shrunken liver and endoscopy showed bleeding esophageal varices which are secondary to liver cirrhosis. She never touched alcohol in the whole life. Then why she developed cirrhosis? Most likely she must be having untreated fatty liver going on in the body for 8 to 10 years and which progress to excessive scarring of the liver and cirrhosis. That's why we should screen all overweight and obese persons, those who have diabetes, blood pressure and unhealthy sedentary lifestyles. Overweight and obese people have excess fat under their skin around waist, hips and thighs. They also have excess fat inside the abdomen around stomach, intestine and organs called as visceral fat. This is metabolically very active and act as a trigger for fatty liver. Consumption of highly processed foods, which is totally devoid of fiber, and bakery products containing unhealthy fats and hidden fructose sugars, as I have mentioned in my previous video on bakery, can increase fatty liver. Consumption of high cholesterol and high triglyceride containing foods directly converts the fat and goes to liver. High consumption of sugar, refined carbohydrates like maida, they are converted directly to the fats and it goes to the liver. Physical inactivity, lack of exercise and sedentary lifestyle are the crux of developing non-burning of the fat because of slowed metabolism. The fat remains inside the liver cell and gradually cause inflammation and progress to fibrosis. Certain genetic conditions in a family can cause fatty liver. Fatty liver rarely occurs in isolation. A raised insulin resistance is the root cause, giving rise to cluster of conditions called type 2 diabetes, hypertension, dyslipidemias, endothelial dysfunction, giving rise to increased atherosclerosis, narrowing of the arteries, and increase in cardiovascular diseases like stroke and myocardial infarction. So the group of all these conditions usually come together. Fatty liver is often called as a silent disease. More than 95% people in the initial phase don't have any symptom. That's why early screening of obese, fatty, hypertensive, diabetics and bad lifestyle patient must be done. Otherwise, a simple fatty liver can cause inflammation around liver cells and progress to steatohepatitis. If left untreated, this can progress to patchy fibrosis and extensive fibrosis and liver cirrhosis. Sometimes it can cause liver cancers. But the good news is the early phases of fatty liver, that is stage 1 and 2, are fully reversible by lifestyle modifications and right changes. If you don't treat fatty liver and allow it to progress, it can go to liver cirrhosis and liver cancers. Here is the line of action if you have fatty liver. As there are no early symptoms, never neglect it. Immediately proceed to detect amount of fat collected in the liver, assess the level of inflammation, and also assess how much scarring has happened in the liver by various tests given below. The most readily available is ultrasound examination of abdomen. Please ask for the CAP score to know the degree of fat collected. The second test is the FIPS-4 score, which requires simple blood test of liver enzymes like ALT, AST, and platelet count, and you can get the values of the different risks. And the third is a machine which is used called FibroScan for detecting the level of stiffness in the liver. And these various values can tell us how much fibrosis is present. How do we stop fatty liver from getting worse? The most powerful treatment in early part of fatty liver stage 1 and 2 is a lifestyle change. Lose body weight. If 5 to 10% weight is lost, the steatosis improves. If 7 to 10% weight is lost, the inflammation of the liver or MASH is reduced. And if it's more than 10% weight is lost, there is regression in the fibrosis of liver. You have to do a good exercise 150 to 300 minutes per week, and it should contain a robust aerobic activity of walking, jogging, running, and playing games. Also should have yoga. These help to burn the fat in the liver and improve insulin sensitivity. You have to cut all sugars and refined carbs. Go for a Mediterranean diet which contains mainly fruits and vegetables. Reduce white rice, maida, sweets, sugary drinks. These because they directly increase the liver fat. Along with these measures, you have to control diabetes, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels with adequate treatment. Most important, you have to sleep well for 7 to 8 hours and totally reduce the stress because sleep burns maximum fat and stress is known to worsen the metabolism and liver health. The pharmacological therapy is reserved for those patients who get inadequate response to lifestyle measures mentioned earlier and they have confirmed MASH with F2 level fibrosis. You approach your doctor, he might consider drugs like saroglitazar, vitamin E, or if you have diabetes, you might consider pioglitazone. Newer drugs like semaglutide have been fast approved by US FDA for reversal of the MASH and F2, F3 level fibrosis. Some new drugs are under consideration. Overall holistic approach is very important as mentioned here. Hope you understood everything about fatty liver, what measures to take to control its progression and how we change the lifestyle. Do like this video, share it in your groups and friends, near and dear ones, and subscribe to my channel Radiant Living by pressing bell icon. See you in the next video.